So we are going to talk about decision making and problem solving today. So now we'll talk about decision making and problem solving. So here we are going to cover up outline and framework for decision making, discuss how critical thinking can be applied to the problem solving process, apply critical thinking to everyday problems. Okay. So ultimately we want to make a better decision. Okay. Let's find out what is the framework for decision making. So sometimes the best decision is not that we don't see at first. So basically, the decision that we take first may or may not be the best. Mostly no, it is not the best decision. Sometimes there seem to be too many options to choose from. Sometimes you need to make a decision in crisis mode. You understand what is crisis mode, right? If we see the crisis mode, it is very important to understand. Then, if we make a decision in crisis mode, what does it mean? It simply means that we have made some mistake, so that's why we are in crisis. And whenever we take a decision in crisis mode, we tend to miss opportunity to critically think on that point. So you need to be focused and think critically to make a reasoned decision. So again, we have to understand the power plan here: prepare, organize, work, evaluate, and then rethink. So we start with power plan, and first point is prepare. Examine your goals. Every decision needs to start with your short and long term goals in mind. You should also take time to consider any other factors that could have influence in your decision making. Okay, organize. Now, we have to organize, consider and assess your alternatives. Identify and then assess. Identify means you should have option number one, option number two, option number three, and then assess that. Which one is good, which one is not good, which one is better. Okay. So for example, we have one, two, three, four, five alternatives, and we'll see which one is good, which one is better, which one is worst. Okay. And then we have to work on identifying alternatives, like identifying and the influences that needs to be weighted in making the decisions, finding the best data available and ensuring credible and verifiable, and then drawing on experts through research or obtaining advice from those who have been there before. And in Organize also we have to assess the alternatives, like determine the possible outcomes for each alternatives, determine the probability that these outcomes will take place, then compare the alternatives, taking into account the potential outcome of each. Pros and cons, we'll see that you will write down pros and cons like this for this thing, for this thing, and then you will analyze which is better. Okay. Then you work on that. Okay. Like make your decision and carry it out. Choosing among alternatives, carrying out decision that you have to do now. And when you are choosing from alternatives that give the decision some time, don't make important decision late in the day. Make a mental movie, acting out various alternatives, toss a coin, ask for advice, and go with your gut feeling. This is the kind of decision tree, that how can you take decision on different things. And carrying out the decision means they have to be carried out. The final stage in decision making is a decision that you have to act upon. Final decision, right? You need to turn your decision into behavior, that you will do that now. Right now, you will evaluate that. Consider the outcome. Did you make the right decision? Consider the results, re-evaluate, and consider alternatives if you find you're not happy with your initial decision. That's evaluation. It's not bad thing to change your mind for better. Okay. And then rethink. Now, consider your goals and options. Ask yourself these questions. Are my decisions still producing the desired consequences? Are my decisions still appropriate given my circumstances and changes in my life? Are my decisions consistent with what I want to get out of my life? Am I accountable for my own actions? Then we work on problem solving. See, in your life, you will have many, many problems. It's not about the problem that will let you down. It's about how you handle them, how do you tackle them. Okay. So, what is the problem? What is the initial set of facts? What is it that I need to solve? Which part of the problem am I actually able to solve? Which part of the problem appear to be most critical to finding a solution? Is there some information that can be ignored? Okay, so strategies of solving life's messier problems, like break the problem down into smaller, more manageable pieces. The process called chunking. Work backward, use graph, chart, or drawing to redefine the problem. Consider the opposite. Look at not only the short term but also medium term and long term consequences. Use analogies and take another person's perspective. Forget about it sometime. Approach it in the spirit of trial and error. Recognize that not making a decision is making a decision. Means what? If you say that I'm not going, if you say that I have to buy a new earphone, you said, okay, I'm going to buy a new earphone. If you go to Best Buy or Costco to buy that or Walmart, any issue. And you decided, no, I'm not going to buy earphone now. I will wait for Black Friday sale. So that decision that you have not taken is it is also called a decision, that you have made a decision that you are not going to buy something. Okay. Then assess your potential solutions. Is there a way to refine the solution? Are there alternative approaches? There is often no perfect solution. There's no solution which can be called as perfect. Consider your problem solving style. Okay. And after that, we have to reflect. Reflect on the process of problem solving. Like take a moment to consider your success. Consider what it looked to solve the problem. Can it be applied to more complex kinds of problems? Okay. Just rethink. All right. Now, next part is applying critical thinking to everyday's problem. Like what? Don't assume that giving something a name explain it. Don't accept vague generalities dressed up as definitive statements. Don't confuse opinion with fact. I believe this, and your opinion is this. It is not a fact. Fact is inflation is 9%. That is the fact. Okay. Brampton has North Indian population. That is the fact. Opinions are different. They are not facts. So make sure you don't take decision based on opinions. Okay. Be wary of scams. Avoid jumping into conclusions. Be skeptical of common sense. Don't assume that just because two events occur together, one caused the other. After that, apply decision making and problem solving techniques to everyday life. You may be under the impression that it's only worth using these techniques to solve big problems. No, you can solve small problems also with that. They apply equally to the little decisions, right? It applies to all facets of your life. Now you have to check which kind of leadership style can be used to different type of problems. Like leaders approach problem logically, systematically, and objectively. Socializers use value judgment to decide good or bad, right or wrong. Performance great at weighting pros and cons and arguing both sides. Adventurers you prefer using instinct to decide. Artists value judgment, good or bad, right or wrong, influence approach. Intellectuals can come up with unique solutions and alternatives. Visionaries arrive at decisions intuitively and then support with it facts and details. And stabilizers like to decide quickly without too much considerations. All right. If you have any confusion in any part of this presentation, feel free to contact me. You have my email ID, right? And you can send me message and we can connect and discuss over these things.